Hi all and welcome to Katadyn Planet YouTube channel. These days I proceeded with the installation of a Katadyn PS40E on my boat. And although the installation is easy and pretty straightforward, I found a bit of trouble when running it for the first time and thought about sharing. My boat is an Island Packet 40 which has two separated heads. And after good thinking, I decided that the best location would be the rear one, for a couple of simple reasons. First, for being a wet area, meaning that if any leak would happen, it will end up onto the shower pan and ultimately into the bilge. And second, for the easy access to the pre-filter, which needs to be replaced very often. In addition, the whole installation is very close to the raw water intake, avoiding long hose installations. The first thing I did was remove the shelf which originally divides the cupboard, and in doing so I discovered a lot more room, not only to allocate the unit but to facilitate the access to the machine for further maintenance. As you go with the manual, you'll learn you'll need to do periodic maintenance, such as replacing O-rings every 1000 hours or so. I want to remark as well the use of an electric connection box to be able to disconnect the power supply easily when removing the unit for servicing. As I mentioned earlier, one very important issue is the location of the pre-filter, as it requires constant attention. Sometimes you'll need to replace it daily, depending on the cleanliness of the surrounding water. So, what a better place than the head, where you can easily empty the water of the pre-filter hosing straight inside the toilet bowl. For the raw water intake, I linked a T right before the strainer of the engine intake hose. That strainer is pretty coarse, so I add a smaller strainer that can be easily accessed and daily serviced. Regarding the rejected brine, I just tee the drain hose of the sink, bearing in mind that the seacock of the sink needs to remain closed while sailing to avoid ingress of water when the boat lists. I installed a secondary valve to be able to isolate the sink while the Watermaker continues its normal operation. Here you can see the installation. The last thing I'd like to comment is that whenever you run the system for the first time, you need to open the release valve and wait as much time as needed until the whole system bleeds the air out. It took me almost 1 hour. I actually didn't know about it, and I spent a hell of time figuring out if my installation was not correct, if there was a leak of air somewhere, even thinking that the machine could be defective. Finally, I decided to make a call to Katadyn in Switzerland for them very kindly to resolve my doubts, and they easily found the solution to the problem. So remember, in the first run, release the valve and be patient. At some point, the magic moment will happen, and fresh, lovely drinkable water will finally pop out. It's like a magic moment. Well, taking into account that all is coming from down below. In this photo, you can have an idea about how much water the system can generate in 1 hour. And here, the actual sound. I personally find it fair enough, especially for bringing life aboard.